Live better and longer with the Fitzness Show, hosted by fitness expert, author, and TV personality Fitz Koehler. She'll tell you why diets are dumb, supplements are snake oil, and the truth about how you can earn a lean, hard, pain-free, and athletic body. Now for our favorite bossy blonde, Fitz Koehler.
Well, hi team, I'm Fitz Koehler, your incredibly bossy fitness pro from fitzness.com, and welcome to the Fitzness Show. Today we have Q's and A's covering a wide variety of topics from nutrition to mindset, etc. And then I have gossip. I have lots of gossip for you. So let's giddy up and get to it. So first of all, wherever you're listening to the Fitzness Show, go ahead and click subscribe and then click download. This is what download does for you. Download makes my show available on your phone no matter what. So let's say you are spelunking, and obviously you're probably not going to have Wi-Fi or cell reception while you're spelunking. If you want to hear my voice or have company or just, experience great joy, which the Fitzness Show provides, you will have it with you on your phone. Or even if you're at a party and you got a big speaker and you want to blast out the Fitzness Show, everybody will love that. I'm certain. So click download when you click subscribe. You could also say something nice in the reviews, but what else? And then if you haven't done so yet, pick up the book. It's You Supercharge. The exact formula for fitness, weight loss, and longevity is perfect for you. It's perfect for your friends. Do you have a birthday coming up, a Mother's Day, a Father's Day, a day? You can get them, this book, and if you order it at fitzness.com, friends, I'm going to sign it, and I'm going to put in the little Fitzy sticker. I'm going to send it out with love, and I'm going to scribble sweet messages on your package, and you're just going to want to order one for every day of the year to see what exciting messages I scribble on your packages, because I tell you what, they get more interesting. The more you order, the more interesting the messages become. Also, I don't know if you saw, but my high school crush ordered a book. Boy, did he get a message. And he responded to me because I inscribed it. I said, to my high school crush or something like that, or the hunkiest guy in high school. And he responded, he goes, I don't know if you inscribe all the books like that. I said, no, Paul Jones, that one's just for you. So anyhow, more gossip. I'm going to go into the big gossip right now. I'm going into Nike blowing it at the Boston Marathon. So congratulations to all my friends, all the strangers who conquered Boston this year. I heard it was a wonderful day. Records were broken and the weather was beautiful and there was a wind at the athletes' back, and it looked like joy, joy, joy times 1,000. My friend Travis ran it. My race director, Amanda Napolitano from the Donna Foundation, she ran it. Gosh, I just had a ton of friends go out there and 26.2 miles through a beautiful town, the most iconic running event in the world. I'm proud to have run it myself, and it's just good stuff. But before we got to the good stuff on Monday, which is Patriots Day, the day the Boston Marathon almost always takes place, just not on the day I ran it. But anywho, Nike, if you haven't heard, buckle up. The Thursday before Boston, on their flagship store in Boston, they put up a big sign and it says, runners welcome, walkers tolerated. I'm going to say that again. Runners welcome, walkers tolerated. Woo! How about that? Now, Nike likes to be clever, and good for them. I very much enjoy and appreciate creativity and sarcasm, but maybe they're not focusing in on the fact that the walking community is triple that of the running community. So if we have, let's say, I don't know, 1 billion people who run for exercise, there's 3 billion people who walk for exercise. I'm not giving those exact numbers, but it's triple. It's triple. And so I think about the races I've announced, from Fargo Marathon to Los Angeles Marathon, Detroit Free Press Marathon. We probably have a good 20% of the athletes who exclusively run the whole way. And then we'd probably have about 20% of the athletes that exclusively walk the whole way. And then there's this 60% that do a combination of running and walking. I don't know. To tolerate 80% of the field. Now, Boston's unique. Boston's different. I get that. But it just doesn't seem, I don't know, it doesn't seem like they were paying attention when they made that banner. So, they are who they are, and good for Nike. But the reviews have been, I'm going to say mixed, but the great majority of responses to this advertisement are pretty close to, thanks for that. I will continue to walk and run in my Asics. You know what I'm saying? I mean, most people are saying, I gotcha. I hear you loud and clear, Nike. Ta freaking ta. Now, my pal, Phil Decker, who I met at the Boston Marathon in 21, he's a super speedster. He sent me a video, an Instagram reel from some guy saying, well, Boston's about speed. And it is. I think 80 to 90% of the field has to qualify to get into the race. So they've earned the right to be there because they were fast, because they were running fast. And if you qualify for Boston, there's probably not much walking in your qualifying experience. Got that. So he was saying, yeah, it's just a unique crowd. For sure. I think it's 10% of the field is charity runners. That's where I came in. And I certainly did plenty of walking when I was at Boston. But I think the numbers, they raise about $40 million for charities per year for the Boston Marathon. And so, I don't know, to tolerate those folks, oh, it seems like a bad move. So, yeah, folks haven't been pleased. I put on a story on Instagram. If you're not following me there, join me on Instagram. And I sometimes do surveys to see what the mindset. And a lot of people use the words like exclusive and disappointing. And I mean, they were just sad, irritated. And again, the interest in going to shop elsewhere. Speaking of shopping elsewhere, Ultra jumped on the bandwagon. I thought they did a really smart thing. They never criticized Nike, but they made their own red billboard and posted it. And it said, run, walk, crawl. No matter how you do it, just stay out there. And so that goes along with more of the message of, hey, we were excited. Everyone's here. Everybody starts. Everybody finishes. It's interesting. One of the things that I love about the running industry or the walking industry, racing industry, it's very unifying. And so several years ago, there was a big push to segregate us. And I go to a annual running conference. I didn't go this year, but the past few years they were like, okay, we want the women over here. We want the Black people over there. We want the gay people over there. We want I don't know, they never gave us a spot for the straight people. But you know what I'm saying? It was just about segregating. And I really was uncomfortable with that. I didn't like that there was a cocktail hour just for women. I wanted to network with the guys. Guys are heavy hitters in our industry and they're sweet and my friends were over there. And I mean, to be honest, what I love the most is that when we hit a start line, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what you look like or how much money you have or anything else going on in your world, we all line up together. We all have the same task at hand. I adore all the different color faces and the different heights and the different body types and knowing all the different backgrounds that come. And most of the races I announce are pretty significant. And we have people not only from around America, but from around the world. And I love it. It's a unified sport. It's not a segregated sport. And the fact that they were doing that really pissed me off. I got to tell you, I keep a lot of stuff inside, but it just grosses me out. I don't want to be in a group of women only. I don't want to be in a group of straight people or blonde girls or blue-eyed people. Like, that's stupid. That's just so freaking stupid. And so, yeah, we all line up together and then we have this unifying task, which is the distance, whether it's 5K or 26.2. And then we cross the same finish line, whether you're super fast or super slow. The distance is the same and it's pretty magical. Pretty magical. So I don't tolerate anybody. I adore everybody. And as a fitness pro, that's what I want. My vision is for all humans of all backgrounds to exercise. And so do I agree with Nike or like their billboard? I don't. I'm also not offended by it. I don't tend to get offended by nonsense thing. I mean, really, honestly, someone could come up and say, you blonde American XYZ and throw every slander in the world at me. And they just don't care, right? I'm not going to get my panties in a wad over you being an a-hole or a company being an a-hole. I don't care. I don't think Nike meant to hurt people. I don't think that was their intention. They thought they were being clever and quirky and fun. Fine, what else? A lot of people are really pissed off. I don't know how you feel about it. If I am offended, it's usually on behalf of a moral issue. Like, don't F with law enforcement. Don't F with my military type thing. Don't F with people taking care of freedom or good folks. And so when Nike went down the Kaepernick route, supported them and kind of shunned law enforcement, that pissed me off in a real big way. I hope they're trying to make good on that. I hope they have opened up their wallets and spent a fortune serving our men and women in uniform. I hope they've done that and supporting them. I don't know if they have. I don't know. But for this sign, I'm not going to get so cranky. But there's also a couple of other interesting examples that one of the PR wires that I received pointed out. And so last Saturday, this is all within about a week or so, there's Park Run. Park Run is it's a weekend activity. It's all over the world where people come out and they do a 5K. They walk, they run, it doesn't matter, but they go exercise together. And it's welcoming and supportive and safe because there's people. Park Run's very cool. But Nike had up a sign that said, and it was in Peckham Rye Park in London. And the sign says, "You didn't come all this way for a walk in the park." And the Park Run media director was like, "The hell they didn't. We have people that come from everywhere to walk in the park. Stop that. That is not true. We love our walkers. Take it back." And so that is right in line with this walkers tolerated banner, which again is questionable at best. And then again, I'm going to tell you that I don't get offended, but I also am scratching my head here. In 25 at the London Marathon, I shit you not, Nike put up a poster, the same red banner said, "Never again until next year." Now, mind you, that's a typical marathoner mindset. At mile 24, they're thinking, "Holy hell, why did I do this? I will never do this again," right? And then they cross the finish line, get their medal, get a snack. It takes 20 minutes, and they think, "How do I register?" So the sentiment is not wrong, but never again, that's kind of the catchphrase tied to the Holocaust. That's right, where millions of people were slaughtered, were starved, sick, demented. Science experiments were inflicted on children. One of the most gory, inhumane, if not the most gory, inhumane moment in history. And so I can only hope that the media director for Nike or the graphic artist or whoever approved that is just completely ignorant, that they have no education, that they do not know. And for that, I say shame on their teachers, shame on their parents for not teaching them any better. But to use a phrase so intrinsically associated with the Holocaust, and yes, it should never happen again, to connect that in a fun, quirky way to running, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know. What do you think? What do you think? Use the comment section on Instagram or Facebook or on fitzness.com. Tell me what you think. Use the comment section wherever you're listening to the podcast here. I'm quite interested in your thoughts. And we will be right back. My brand new book, You Supercharge, the exact formula for fitness, weight loss, and longevity, is out right now and has something for everybody. Ladies, chapter Full Throttle Femininity is dedicated to all the things you think you can't control, including menopause, weight loss, maintaining muscle mass, building bone density, and earning yourself a JJ of steel. Guys, chapter Man Mode was written just for you. You'll learn how to combat menopause, tune up your ticker, banish a beer belly for good, maximize your muscles, and earn the most powerful pecker on the planet. From the ground on up, from the inside and out, let's supercharge your body and mind and make you unstoppable. Order signed copies of You Supercharged at fitzness.com in the United States, Amazon, everywhere else. We're back. Onward. I wish Nike some quiet time to reevaluate and reconsider what they're doing and hope for the best. Hope for the best. That's it. I don't want to throw them under the bus. It's worth having a conversation over. And oh my, I think they stepped in it. Okay, so speaking of stepping in it, I didn't quite step in it, but I had an awkward moment at the public Savannah Women's Half Marathon and 5K last week or 2 weeks ago. And I forgot to tell you in the podcast last week. So I told you about the caterpillar attacks I experienced, and they were pretty traumatizing, although I survived them like a true hero. Go back and listen. And again, you will be captivated by the way in which I handle myself under complete duress. However, this one's a little silly, but it's true. So I was in the finish line chute. Now, not every race do I just stand in the finish line chute. Quite often I have a stage up to this on the side of the finish line or whatever, but in Savannah, no stage, which is perfect because I want to be down on the road with the athletes. And as I am down in front of the athletes, I am always front and center. Not that everyone's always looking at me, but I'm there, right? I can't hide. There's no place to hide. And to be honest with you, if I'm on a stage somewhere on a cold day and I need to wipe my nose, I get a tissue and I blow my nose and nobody knows it happened. But there I am in Savannah on the road, and our athletes have a beautiful path towards the finish line. They run around this gorgeous fountain and then through it's trees covering our finish line. The finish line is beautiful, but I'm out there with my microphone talking and chatting with everybody and welcoming athletes. And I have the world's craziest wedgie. That's right. I'm telling you this. It's the truth. And what can you do about it? What can you do about it when you're standing there and there's hundreds of spectators basically virtually facing you? And every time I speak, kind of they look at me, right? So I've got this crazy wedgie. Now the women are thinking, what? I was wearing tights. And yes, ladies, I was wearing a thong. That's my MO, right? Tights and a thong. Some ladies wear tights with no thong or no undies. I'm not that girl. I'm not commando in tights. I got the thong on. But believe it or not, even though a thong is technically a permanent wedgie, I got a more wedgie. I can't describe it without my mom coming and spanking me. But yeah, so I had the crazy wedgie. And I couldn't do anything about it because there they were, all the people, right? And the cameras. And I did not want to go viral as the wedgie picking announcer lady. So I just had to deal with it for about 2 freaking hours. And it was not awesome. And it's so at one point I go over to the side, my sound woman, her name is escaping me. I've been working with her for years. She's wonderful, pretty blonde, rosy cheeks, always so sweet. And I go to her, I said, can I vent to you? This off the microphone, obviously. And she goes, yeah. I said, I have the craziest wedgie right now. And she goes, well, I go, I can't do anything about it. Everyone's looking at me or whatever. She goes, well, maybe you could do like a kick or a stretch or something. And so what did I do? I tried to kick and I tried to stretch and it did not work. But, oh, it was a long couple hours. Long couple hours. I did some wiggling motion. I'm usually dancing out there anyway, so nobody probably knew what was going on. But yeah, colossal wedgie. I don't know if you thought you were going to hear about that when you tuned into the Fitzness show today, but since we're besties and I share everything with you, now you know. So eventually, race was over, champagne shower. Then I went and I rectified the situation. Thank you very much. But woo wee, kind of weird. My Jeep is back. So if you don't know, where have you been? But in January, my transmission died. I got in a terrible car accident last summer. It caused harm to my vehicle. And eventually that came to fruition and pow, the transmission dead along with the clutch. And so I got it back and it's so wonderful. I'm so happy. It's stick shift. I got the roof down. It's kind of like when I drive, it's as though I'm playing a video game. It's just so wonderful. So I'm a happy girl. And then this past Wednesday, I was in Miami announcing or hosting a wonderful luncheon. So I'm going to release this podcast next. It's called Stacy Swiderski. It's her soapbox episode. Stacy is a podcaster. That's how I know her. She had me on her show. It's called She Decides. She owns a jewelry line called She Decides. I encourage you all to look at it. And then she also owns Surrogacy, an egg retrieval agency in Chicago. She's responsible for about 1,500 babies being born. And she is just lovely as all get out and just a great businesswoman. She employs about 30 Americans, which is pretty killer. And so she invited me to host her luncheon. And it was a blast. It was great. It was at Nobu. If you've been paying attention, Nobu's a pretty fancy pants Asian cuisine. They have it in probably New York and Los Angeles and a bunch of fancy places, but Nobu's gorgeous. And it was just an incredible event. I was very proud to be the host of it. And as our guests came in, these women, these stylish, I don't know, interesting women from Miami, they were, it was a fashion show. It was an absolute fashion show. They all looked more beautiful than the last girl to walk in. And as a host, I like to meet as many people as possible because I engage them in the experience, right? It's always impossible. It's always important to me in front of a live audience that I'm never just talking at people. I'm talking to them. And if I include them in the conversation, that makes them feel more special. I think it's more interesting to everybody. So as they came in, I was trying to get to know them. There was someone who owned a beauty line. Her name was Nancy Reagan, for crying out loud. Imagine that being her name. Imagine every single time you said your name was Nancy Reagan, everyone said, really? Like the first lady? So it was like being named Michelle Obama or Melania Trump. Either way, people are going to go, huh? Every time, but she handles it with grace. We had a woman who's a celebrity manicurist, and I asked her midway, I said, so name drop for us. Tell us who you do the nails of. And she said, well, Madonna, Lady Gaga, pretty cool. And then there was another woman who I got along with smashingly. In fact, she invited me over for a sleepover, which I will take her up on sometime this summer because she's so fun. Her name is Jessica, and she owns a magazine called Leading Ladies. It's a luxury brand magazine in Miami. She's has a big deal publishing career from long ago. She's actually, so she tells me her name is Jessica Cristobal. And as she says that, I got the head cock. I'm sure everybody does this to her. I go, are you? And she said, yeah, I'm Mario's wife. So her husband is the football coach for the Miami Hurricanes. So I could have said, boo. But anyways, we got along great. And I think she's for real bestie material. Again, she invited me to a party I can't go to because I'm working that weekend. But then she said, you want to come over for a sleepover? And I was like, shit, yeah. So I think she and I are going to have a great time. It will probably include a cocktail, probably include the beach. And yeah, it's nice to meet people that you just see eye to eye with and laugh with. And yeah, love her. Love her. So the whole luncheon was fantastic. We had a great keynote, Jen Gottlieb, and I don't know, Stacy's awesome. Her crew, Caitlin and Cara, were phenomenal, so organized, and yeah, just cool to be a part of that stuff. Folks, if you have an event you need hosting, I do more than just races, right? Okay, and then finally, what did I want to tell you? That was it. That was it. Okay, we're moving to the Q and the A's because it is time. And boy, are you guys sending in great questions. These are blended with my Reddit thread. I get so many wonderful questions from Reddit. Thank you, Reddit people. Okay, that. Here's question number one, the Q, and I bring you the A. So first one is, someone says, I eat healthy, but I can't lose weight. What are the first 5 things you audit? So I like the word audit, great big vocabulary word. Thank you, Reddit man. So first of all, I think they've lost their mind. I can't stand it when people tell me, I can't lose weight. No, you can. You absolutely can. And if that's you, no, then I'm poking you in the chest right now, maybe knocking you on the side of your head. You absolutely can lose weight. And I ask, if I sent you off in a rowboat out to sea for 5 days and I gave you nothing but water, would you come back weighing less? The answer is yes. You can lose weight. You're just not doing what it takes. And it may be ignorance. You may just not know how. You may have been trying the wrong things, these diets, intermittent fasting and keto. And of course, you're not losing weight and keeping it off on those diets. But if you understand the exact formula for weight loss, if you're not losing weight, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. And so these are some of the things that I audit, things that go through my mind when you tell me you can't lose weight. So number one, are you using the formula? If you're not using the formula, then there really is no other way to take weight off and keep it off forever. If not, you're just doing some wacky stuff and it doesn't have any rhyme or reason. So the exact formula for weight loss, if you don't know it, my book, You Supercharged, explains it out very thoroughly. You can also find it for free on fitzness.com. There are episodes of the Fitzness show dedicated to the exact formula. So it's available. Look up exact formula and Fitz Koehler, you'll find it. So that's number one. Number two, I think about portions. So famous case of one of my hotties, Anna Hodling, many years ago, telling me she was using the formula and not losing weight. And I said, that doesn't make any sense. And then what she did is she started measuring her food. And what she found is that her bowl of cereal she was having in the morning wasn't 1 serving of cereal. It was 3 servings of cereal. That's right. She had a big old bowl. And when she filled it up, there were 3 servings of cereal. So it wasn't 120 calories. It was 360 calories just of cereal in the morning. And she was also making the same mistake in other areas of her life. Once she started measuring with a measuring cup or a measuring spoon or a scale, then, and that's a food scale, then she realized, okay, this is how much I actually can or should be eating. And she made huge progress. Golly, I think she lost about 45 pounds. She looks spectacular. Now she's a sexy cosplayer lady who looks super hot, dressed as Wonder Woman. So portions, I think of that. I do think of mindless snacking. Some people just don't count the food they're eating as if it doesn't matter if you go by your coworker's desk and grab a couple of Hershey Kisses and nibble on those or some mints. It all adds up. Maybe you have some orange juice and you don't write it down. That orange juice is 80 to 100 calories, maybe more, depending on the size of your glass. That adds to weight gain, or at least can prohibit weight loss. And so if you're drinking alcohol is a major red flag. I mean, you know what? If you're a crazy alcoholic, maybe you are super skinny. We see some of that. But in real life, real world, people with jobs, people that are eating real food, if they are drinking daily any sort of alcohol, whether it's beer or wine or vodka, most of those people are packing on weight gradually. And most of those people, if they stopped drinking alcohol today, would find themselves 10 to 15 pounds lighter by next month. And so alcohol, not only is it senseless calories that aren't being productive for your body. I mean, maybe there's a couple antioxidants in wine. I hear you. You can get antioxidants in other ways. But yeah, alcohol, not only is it the useless calories, but it screws with your sleep, diminishes the chance you're going to go work out or at least have a great workout, makes you lazy with your eating habits, right? If you have a glass of wine or beer or whatever you're having, you're more likely to eat some cheese and some crackers and some buffalo wings and some pizza. And so it's a vicious cycle. So those are the things I think about. I think about if you're using the formula, portions, mindless snacking, alcohol. Those are the biggies for me. Or are you always having an exception? Well, I would stick with my formula, but it's Friday and I have girls' night, or it's Mother's Day, or it's Father's Day. If you're constantly making excuses tied to your eating habits, then of course you're not losing weight. A great question. I like that one. Next up. All right. So this is why I mentioned late night cravings hit hard. What do you actually do in that moment? So I make some honest assessments. Is number one, am I actually hungry? If I'm hungry at 10:30 or 1:30 in the morning, I eat. Like hunger pains will keep you awake, but I don't go eat a bowl of ice cream. I go to the counter and there's always some sort of peel and eat something there. I grab a tangerine and I bring it back to bed and I eat it. And then I put the little peel on my nightstand. Then in the morning, I pick it up and throw it away, right? So you can eat in the middle of the night opposed to intermittent fasting, which is some dumb, moronic, only eat between noon and 6 p.m. It's absurd. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you're hungry at night for reals, you didn't eat enough and you're hungry, have some food. Just have some healthy food that's not going to cause harm, right? And your formula goes across the entire 24 hours of your day. If you get 1,700 calories, that's what you get for 24 hours. It doesn't matter if you eat it all at noon or if you eat it at 10, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, right? So be wise about it. Also, if it's mindless and you're not actually hungry, then do something else, right? Like go have sex with the person next to you, have sex with yourself. That's fine. Get on the treadmill, read a book, put on a mask to make your skin beautiful, put on a red light therapy mask, whatever. Just do something to deter that behavior. And if you do it 3 nights in a row, you're not likely to pick up the habit on the 4th night. Simple stuff. And we will be right back.
Are you looking for the perfect gift for a loved one battling cancer? The Cancer Comeback Series by Fitz Koehler offers hope, inspiration, and practical guidance. With Your Healthy Cancer Comeback, My Noisy Cancer Comeback, and The Healthy Cancer Comeback Journal. These books are a lifeline for all patients and survivors. Right now, you can order autographed copies at a special discount. Show your support and help a loved one go from sick to strong. Visit fitzness.com today. That's FITZNESS.com. Fitzness.com.
We're back. All right, next question. How should workouts change as we get older? I think they should become more intense. What? I know, because here's the deal. If let's say you're doing an XYZ workout. If you continue doing the same exact XYZ workout every day moving forward, and you combine that with the aging process, you start to get worse. And so as you age, I think you should lean in even more to fitness, be even more aggressive about it, because we won't have the benefits, the natural benefits that come with being young and dumb, maybe, right? And so do more. Focus intensely on strength, because muscle loss is a natural part of aging, which I say bullshit on that. When your testosterone and estrogen decline, most people start to lose muscle mass. F that. You don't have to. You don't have to lose muscle mass. I'm going to say it again. You don't have to. You don't have to become weaker. You don't have to become softer. You don't have to decrease your your muscle mass and increase your body fat. You don't have to. You can still be a strong mother effer in your 60s, 80s, and 90s. And so you just put in more work for it, right? And here's the deal. You go back 30, 40 years, people didn't know better. And so all the old folks, the elderly people just got squishy and soft and weak. Okay, they didn't know any better. In fact, I remember my mom telling my sister she wanted to take weight training class in high school. My mother says, "No, you can't. You'll become a bodybuilder." Okay, that's stupid, but she was ignorant. And my mother was not encouraged to strength train. And now my mother is fragile, like glass, like one of those Fabergé eggs. She fractures so easily, so easily. And that's because she did not strength training. If she knew what I know, hopefully maybe in her 30s and 40s and 50s, she would have strength trained. In 60s, she would have gotten serious about it and really pushed the envelope. And so strength training has to be intense and constant every other day at worst as you're aging. Balance training. We lose so many seniors prematurely because they fell. Can you imagine your whole incredible life? You've had a career, you've had a family, you've traveled, you've owned homes, you've owned cars, you've done so many extraordinary things, and then one day you trip over the cord for the vacuum, you fall down, your hip breaks, and then 7 days later you're dead. You're dead meat. That's stupid. What a dumb ass way to lose your life. You can prevent that with balance training. Now I get a little fired up. I get a lot fired up. Why? Because I care about you. And my theme of the year is like, love yourself as much as I love you. But you can save your own freaking life with balance training. Balance training requires two things. It's either you stand on one foot, and when that becomes too easy, you stand on one foot, moving your body around or throwing a ball or whatever, or you stand on squishy objects. That's it. And you teach your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, how to respond to imbalances. That's called proprioception. Proprioception, if it's high, that means you're ready for anything. You can trip over a curb you didn't see and not fall down because your body reacted and landed in the right way, so you didn't eat it. You could be walking on a cobblestone road and your ankle could turn, and then your ankle just adjusts right back up and you stay upright because you've been practicing balance training for proprioception. And so, yeah, as you age, strength training, hardcore, balance training consistently. It doesn't have to be really hardcore. You just have to do it a lot. And so start with brushing your teeth on one foot. Left foot for a while, right foot for a while. When you stand in line at the grocery store or the mall or wherever the heck you're standing in line, do it on one foot. It's a simple thing to do, but it will impact not only the quality of your life, but the length of your life. And if you get really good at that, do fun things on one foot. Maybe make cereal on one foot or paint a picture on one foot. I don't know, throw the ball, play catch on one foot. Those are things that can extend your life, not just those 7 days post-fall, but 10 years, 20 years. Think about the old person you love and lost because they fell. Hopefully that will motivate you. Also, flexibility. Flexibility equals mobility. We see people start to stiffen as they age. You don't have to stiffen, but motion is lotion. If you would like your joints and your spine to stay lubricated, you have to keep moving. And so flexibility, stretch, stretch, stretch. That's why we see older folks doing Tai Chi. It's gentle, yet it puts them through their full range of motion. It includes some balance training. Yoga is a great choice, even though they say stupid, annoying words. It's still a great choice. Yeah, so strength, flexibility, balance, and oh yeah, cardiovascular fitness. Why? Because your heart and your lungs matter. And if they're strong, they will easily pump blood, oxygen-rich blood through your body, keeping your circulation smooth and preventing injuries and so forth. And when you have good stamina, you can still go play. You can play ball. You can go dance. You can do the things you want to do. You know, as you age, if you lose your stamina, then I got to sit down a lot, right? And nobody wants to sit down a lot. Ew. So yeah, that's how workouts should change as you get older. They should become more intense, more critical, more pointed, more important than ever before. But know this, whatever age you are right now, the efforts you put in today will continue to pay off for years to come. Get to work, right? Okay, next question. How do you silence negative self-talk when it's loud as hell? So I've been there. I was raised in a house where my mother and my sister constantly trashed themselves, trashed their bodies, trashed their appearance. It was, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that. And then I learned that. And so also my sister was constantly telling me that I was fat and I was ugly and I was too tall and I sucked at soccer. And so body shame was a big, big like priority on the women in my family. And I took the brunt of it. That was great, right? No, it wasn't. It was awful and it hurt. And it led to an eating disorder. And I felt really bad about myself for a really long time. Fortunately, once I got to college and got away from all that, I started seeing the bigger picture that I wasn't choosing my friends because they had great thighs or ripped abs. I was choosing people because they were kind and they were supportive and interesting and smart. And then I thought, oh, well, maybe people are choosing me because I'm kind and supportive and funny and interesting and so forth. And so the pressure for me to have a perfect tummy kind of faded away. That's how I talked myself out of an eating disorder, is just realizing that my value was not the way I looked. Maybe if I were to have a boyfriend, he might care about the way I look, but really society at large was not affected by my physique. And so that helped. And that really was the catalyst for me getting past bulimia. But then I I lived in a sorority house, so hear ye, I was in a sorority at the University of Florida, and I really did it because I thought, "This is the only time you could do it." I was curious, let's give it a shot, right? And it was some fun. It would also kind of not fun at times. I got kicked out of the senior banquet for being too rowdy. Oh, well. Anyways, I lived in the house, and there was a girl who lived next door to me, Julia. I wish I could remember her last name. Anyways, Julia was probably the most beautiful girl I'd ever met. She had golden skin, beautiful eyes, and she had this dirty blonde ringlet curls. Ha ha, they were so pretty. And she just generically was gorgeous. And I really liked her and we got along. And so she was constantly in and out of my room because we were right next door to each other. And what she said or what she asked 20 times a day was, Fitz, do I look fat? Am I fat? Ew, I look so fat. Ooh, what do you think? Do I look fat? And I would say, no, you don't look fat. You look gorgeous as per usual. And she kept going, kept going. And then I finally just had the revelation that, oh my God, that's what I'm doing to people. Do I sound like that? I probably do sound like that. And so it was her terrible behavior led to a massive change in my behavior. Not only did I decided not to speak those words out loud, do I look fat in this? Am I fat? Am I ugly? Blah. I decided I wasn't going to torch myself at all. I was not going to trash Fitz Koehler. Maybe other people could think negative things about me, but I was going to be nice to me because I thought, you know what? I really am kind of a nice girl. I'm trying really hard. I'm working hard at school. I'm a helpful friend and I do good things. And my appearance doesn't affect anybody but myself. And so I'm going to focus on the good stuff. And if there is something lacking, I'm going to work to make it better. But that really is. And I'm super pragmatic. So that helps. It certainly helps. And then I choose to be positive. But again, I didn't always because I wasn't raised that way. So what I want you to know when that voice in your head gets loud is that the voice in your head is a dumbass right now and you're allowing it to happen. You are in charge of the voice in your head. You can control it and you can tell it to shut the F up and to focus on the good stuff. And so at chapter 1 of my book, I believe I tell everybody, hey, I want you to get better. I want you to do better. I want you to improve in all areas of your life. So let's start by making a list of things you want to improve. But before we get there, wait. You have to make a list of things you love about yourself. That's right. At least 5 things. You get naked, you stare in the mirror and you go, I love my sparkly eyes. Damn it, my thighs are strong. Whatever. My toes have good shape. My great boobs, big schlong. Whatever you like, say it loud inside your head, right? Shout it out. You've got the biggest one I've ever seen, okay? So then you can build on that. And when some person in your life makes you start second guessing yourself, you gotta bring little Fitzy in. And normally I say I want to be on your shoulder, but now I want to be between your ears. You take little Fitzy and you just whoop, swallow her, put her in your head. All right, there I am, swimming around. And when I hear your voice putting you down, little Fitzy goes over and just smacks your voice in the face and says, shut up, stop picking on my friend, right? This person is so good in so many ways. You got to stop putting him or her down. We're going to start building this person up. And that's when you start talking about all the good things, all the great stuff you bring to the table. Because honestly, if somebody walked up to you and said, you know what? You look stupid. I hate your clothes. And I hate your body. And ugh, you would probably pop that person. You wouldn't tolerate that. So don't let the voice in your head say evil things too. It just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. And you know what? Little Fitzy gets in there. She's really going to throw down. She is going to straighten shit up. You got that, little Fitzy? Oh, she'll tear it apart. She'll tear it apart and build you up bigger than you've ever been, mentally, emotionally. You deserve that. Remember, your job is to love yourself as much as I love you. You got that? Okay. So, where am I? Oh, I am now to some communication tip. Communication tip comes from my dance training. I do dance lessons. Sometimes I go to dance parties. I was just at social night or a salsa night. Know this. Anytime you dance with somebody else, they provide you a bowl of mints. And so perhaps if you're going to have intimate contact, I'm not even saying making out, but I'm just saying close quarter contact with other people, bring them in. Keep some Tic Tacs or sugar-free gum in your purse or your wallet or your car or whatever. Have mints handy. Even when I think my breath is absolutely refreshingly minty and wonderful, I will take a mint just out of courtesy. I decide that that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, communication tip. Don't gross people out with your nasty breath. Although, if you're doing tango and you got to lean far away from your partner, I actually told my dance teacher, I said, maybe next time you eat some pickles or garlicky pickles before we tango, and then I'll lean back better because I'm working on that skill. Okay. And then our song of the show, it's a good one. It's Beyonce. That's right. We're going back to Beyonce, who feels like old school now, even though she's still kind of relevant. But anyways, her song, Diva. I like it a lot. I like it so much. And you should listen to Diva while you are doing plyometrics. And that's what I was doing. I was doing squat jumps the other day at the gym when I had Diva on, and I jumped really, really high. That's right. Almost smacked my head on the ceiling. That's not true, but I felt like it because that song was very motivating. Okay, folks. I have yammered on for so long, but I love you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for doing what I tell you to do. Don't forget to click download on this episode, subscribe, and get to work. Bye, team. Mwah!
Hi, this is Rudy Novotny, the voice of America's Marathons. We all love how much running has benefited every aspect of our lives, so much so that most of us only wish we'd started sooner. Wouldn't it be wonderful to give the opportunity to children of today? Well, you can. The Morning Mile is a before-school walking and running program that gives children a chance to start each day in an active way while enjoying fun, music, and friends. That's every child, every day. It's also supported by a wonderful system of rewards, which keeps students highly motivated and frequently congratulated. Created by our favorite fitness expert, Fitz Koehler, Morning Milers across the country have run over 2 million miles and are having greater success with academics, behavior, and sports because of it. The Morning Mile is free to the child, free to the school, and is inexpensively funded by businesses or generous individuals. Help more kids get moving in the morning by visiting morningmile.com. Champion the program at your favorite school or find out more about sponsorship opportunities. That's morningmile.com. Long may you run.